just want to make sure I was not. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll begin our meeting of the Hamlin Conservation Advisory Board. The emergency exits are on either end of the building, with the handicap exit being on the far right-hand side, and the AED is right across the hallway. Would you please turn your cell phones off for the duration of the meeting. Cheryl, would you please call the roll?
Clark Mahaney.
Here.
Janine Clapp.
Here.
Carrie Whipple. Here. Steve Rutherford.
Here.
Louis DiVincenti.
Here.
Alrighty, everybody had a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections or amendments to the previous minutes, meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the June 27th meeting minutes.
Alright, is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the June 27th.
Excuse me, July 25th. I was
July
looking,
25th.
I was looking at those
Yeah.
minutes. This is the July 25th.
July 25th
Yes,
minutes.
excuse me.
Cheryl, would you please poll the,
Yes. Clark Mahaney.
yes,
Janine Clapp.
Yes,
Steve Rutherford.
here,
Carrie
yes.
Whipple. Yes. Louis DiVincenti.
Yes.
Okay, this is a public forum. The floor is open for any comments that are needed. We'll go into our meeting report. Janine?
yes, let me get the correct minutes in front of me. Okay, the planning board, Monday, August 1st. There was a public hearing for Rodney Mank of 307 Drake Road. Looking for a preliminary and final single lot subdivision in an RM zoning district. So the public hearing, when it was open, there was one neighbor who spoke. She was concerned because she had heard that there would be storage of farm equipment on the property, and Mr. Mank said that was not the case, and so she was glad to hear that. There were no engineering concerns. It's an unlisted seeker, so Rodney Bank was, the application was approved for preliminary and final single lot subdivision. On the agenda, conservation corridor development for Robert and Cindy Root at 6544 Shore Acres Drive. They wish to install a generator within 100 feet of Lake Ontario. This is in the Shoreline Residential Zoning District. It is a type 2 seeker. Comments from the engineer. They were suggesting to use a buffer because these lots are very narrow, and the division between this property and the neighbor's property is a chain link fence, so it's very visible and quite open view. So the town engineer had suggested using a buffer of some kind of solid screening for both visual and noise abatement. And members of the board, planning board, agreed with that. And with that agreed to, they did receive their conservation corridor development permit. Another item on the agenda was for Corey Carnes, administrator for the estate of Marion Carnes at 1310 Walker Lake, Ontario Road. This is just a lot line adjustment. The only concern was it wasn't clear whether Corey Carnes was had the authorization. So the lot line adjustment was approved with the stipulation that proof of authorization and filing with the county needed to be required first, but they did get that. Next thing on the agenda was for Karen Tabor, 5936 West Watoma Beach Road. She would like to construct a 2,800 square foot dwelling It's a piece of property where there is already a single-family dwelling on the property, and the applicant is interested in living in the existing dwelling until the new dwelling is complete, and at that point demolish the existing dwelling. The existing dwelling is right on the shoreline in this CHA, the Coastal Erosion Hazard Area. This is in the Shoreline Residential District. So the engineer had a lot of concerns, and some of the things were the width of the lot and the width of the proposed house would make it hard to demolish and remove the house. The house that's to be demolished is in front of, when I say lakeside, and so it would be hard to get equipment in there to be able to demolish that and remove that, given the width of the property and the width of the house, the new house that's proposed. So variances may be required, and other things like where do they want, the plans should show where they want the grinder pump for the new proposed sewer district. And there were several other concerns, proposed grading. It would elevate the site over 7 feet above existing grades, and it could direct drainage onto neighboring properties. So there were a lot of concerns that still have to be met. The planning board went ahead to schedule a public hearing on September 6th, assuming that these concerns that the engineer had are met. And so that will take place on September 6th. And last thing on the agenda was a residential sketch plan for Thomas Mann, 179 Church Road. He's seeking a property split to split a parcel into 2 lots. It's in the RVL zone, which is a 2-acre minimum lot size, and it's also in the ag district. The applicant would like to keep the farm and split it and sell the dwelling that's on the other section to his son. So there's still more information that needs to be brought up, because this application was tabled until the additional information comes in. And that was it. That was the end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Janine. The Fish Advisory Board, it was a very short meeting. We had absolutely nothing to talk about or any actions that had come about. Our website is up and running. All the bills are paid.
Excuse me.
And fishing is really good out in Rondequoit Bay right now. So there were some concerns earlier of an algae bloom, but that went away when the weather changed.
What is the website? Do you just go to Fishing Advisory Board, or how do you get to it?
Monroe County Fishing will get you there. I should know it off the top of my head, but
That's probably close enough. I'll probably give you a link. Yeah.
ECM will pick up next month. But I have some very important news for us to consider and look out. Everybody was familiar with the little bugs that killed all the ash trees. Well, now there is a disease called the beech leaf disease that is spreading throughout New York, and it's killing all the beech trees. Once it's infected, it takes about 2 years for it to die, and there is no known cure for it right now. They don't know whether it's what kind of pathogen it's associated with, such as a virus, a bacteria, or a fungus. None of that is known. They think it may be associated with some type of nematode, but they're really not sure what's causing the damage. Beech trees are important to our area as they provide lumber for furniture. Most all furniture, couches and chairs are framed on the inside with beech. So, and it's the second largest population next to the ash trees. So, people are also on the lookout that it doesn't spread to the oaks or any other trees right now. DEC, Cornell, U.S. Forest Service are tracking it, and it's been identified right here in Monroe County. It's down in Sullivan, Shenango, Steuben, Chemung, Schuyler, Yates, Wayne, King, Monroe, Tioga, and Herkimer. And it was recently discovered in the Adirondacks for the first time on the southwest edge of the park. It's a pretty big threat. So that's that little bit of news for the EMC. Clark?
Okay, the regular town board meeting, August 8th, 2022. In the public forum, Nicholas Russo talked. He lives on County Land Road, and the supervisor of Clarkson had mentioned bringing in water on County Land Road, and he was wondering if there was any conversation had occurred between Hamlin and Clarkson about possibility of bringing the line further into Hamlin. Steve Bars said that he had just found out. They just found out and called the town engineer immediately. They're going to talk with Clarkson about that. Jim Niedzwicki, Apple Hollow Lane, was wondering if there would be something done about the library lights. Since they put in the LED lights, they're so much brighter, they shine right over into his backyard and on his house. And was told that he could turn them, the library could turn them down and face them down toward the ground more than what they are right now. Also, he was wondering where the benches were going to be on the walking and biking trail, and if they were, she was, if there are any plans. And right now there's not any set plans, but they'll be going along the trail for seniors, and they hope to put trees next to the benches also. Let's see. There was a vote on accepting the number of parcels being responsible to finance the bond note for the Hamlin Lakeshore Sewer District at 313. After a lengthy discussion, and there was a lengthy email to the board by one of the board members. It was voted on, and it was denied. The next one was to accept the number of parcels being responsible to finance the bond note for the Hamlin Lakeshore Sewer District at 381, and that motion was carried. Then there was a vote to approve the purchase of 10 disc golf baskets by the Recreation Department, and they are planning on making a disc golf course out here. They're hoping they're going to get some help from Isaiah Flo from no, he's the Recreation Commission, but there's somebody in Rochester that's gonna get help from, how to set them up and stuff.
Okay.
And that motion was carried. The library had 684 participants and 136 were at the reading program. And the History Center had a meeting the week before this August 8th meeting. And they're getting ready for the end of summer bash. And they'll meet with Clarkson to see what they do with events. And Dave did say that the History Center was chartered many years ago and it ran for 25 years. But that was disbanded when Mary Smith started. And the next meeting of the History Center committee is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. The ambulance had 650 calls year to date and 96 last month, and these are breaking records. And the end of summer event will have pony rides, food trucks, lugias, and Kona, recreation games, the History Center, and 8 days a week at the fire department in the evening for the adults. And they had the fundraiser for Phil Hurlbut for Paul Burley Saturday, and then we also had the seniors dinner. That was a great turnout in the Walker Fire Department. Hamlin Morton Walker Fire Department had 294 calls year to date, and will be welcoming 2 new firefighters and there's August 27th concert. August 13th, the Walker Fire Department had a steak roast. And from the Recreation Department, transition, Kaylee is transitioning for a couple weeks, and the camp is maxed every week and trips are going well. The Junk Jamboree and Cruise In with Patty Joe was a great event and way bigger than what it was before. So they had great feedback. The town clerk is selling hunting license now and gearing up for collecting school taxes. And she's thinking about doing something with cruising since the Spenceport Canal days are back. She's talking about maybe bringing back Tractor Farm Day history. And the walking trail is this is from Supervisor Boz. The walking trail is a 2-year-long process, and he's looking into the possibility of an ice skating rink close to a water source, close to the Charlie Minor Lodge. Busy with the sewer and contacted Senator and Assemblyman for extra money and grants. The planning board applications, the date for interviews August 18th at 6 o'clock. And Supervisor Buzz says working on Scout Park with plans and surveys. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Clark. Good work. Lewis?
Yeah, the zoning board of appeals was August 15th. It was a pretty short meeting. First item was Victor Burrows at 1067 and 1095 Hamlin Parma Town Line Road. They're looking to subdivide the parcel that's currently zoned commercial. They want to make it residential and non-agricultural and put a storage barn up. And the storage barn is going to be in front of the house. So they need a variance for having a storage barn in the commercial district and having a structure in front of the foundation of the main house. So the board scheduled a public hearing for next month. Then Jesse Cross at 2136 Brick Schoolhouse Road. He has 4 accessory structures now, and he wants to add one. He's going to take one down when he adds the new one. but he needs a variance to have more than 3 accessory structures on the house, so it's 2 barns and a chicken coop. And then he also wants to be able to have campers on his property, have friends come over and set up their campers, which is not allowed in the town code. So they scheduled a public hearing for those 2 things, to have 4 accessory structures on the property and to allow campers. So public hearing next month. And then the last thing on the agenda was Michael Bassett at 697 Walker Road. He wants 4 goats in less than 5 acres. He didn't show up for the meeting though, so it was tabled. So.
I just have a couple of things for you guys. So when Clark was talking about 3013 versus 381, right, parcels to the lake shore. So when the bond was originally written, it was written there a total right now, as we speak, of 381 parcels at the lake. So each of them, whether a house is on it or it's a vacant lot, would pay the same exact amount for everything up there for 381. The 313 comes about if the vacant lots only pay half an EDU, and then their other half of their EDU is dispersed out among the lots that have houses on them. So it kind of changes the model a little bit, right? However, we're gonna probably take a look at some of the code and stuff like that has really kind of hindered some of those lots to be developed, because there's no longer a leach field requirement, right? So a lot of those vacant lots may be able to be built on. So we want to make sure that every lot gets what it needs to be able to be developed if it wants to be developed. And at that point in time, we feel it's fair across the board for each individual lot to pay, the same amount. So because of the future development opportunities that the sewer district's going to bring about. And right now, without merging or combining lots and changing that 380 number, we're at $121 a year on your taxes for sewer. So we're, really talking low amounts even for the vacant lots at this point in time. We're trying to keep those numbers low. The town of Hamlin did kick in. The bids came in $250,000 over what the original bond was, and then there's administrative fees and stuff of that nature that kicked it up even a little bit more than $250,000 so that we can get the bond. Out of ARPA funds, we committed $100,000 to offset those costs. So the bond had to be redone to build in that other $250,000 into the bond for that 121 number. With administrative fees and everything, that'll probably come in a little lower than actually $250,000, but we wanna make sure that we don't have to do that bond again, because doing that bond means we have to publicize it, we have to have the public hearing, we have to have the resolutions, and that's all time consuming. What we wanna do is make sure there's enough in that bond so that we can get them building that sewer district this year, is the goal. We do have the end of summer bash this 27th, Saturday. So out back, we're gonna have pony rides, we're gonna have bounce houses, tons of rec games. History is gonna set up a little kiddie corner. Friends of Recreation will have their little kiddie corner stuff, and that'll be 11 to 4. We will have food trucks in the parking lot. And then hopefully everybody goes and gets the babysitters, and they all come down for clams and beer and hot dogs and sausages down at the fire department for a free concert. It's 8 days a week. It's a Beatles tribute band. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
What time do they start?
The doors will open at 7. The band starts playing at 8.
Wait, you said, I'm sorry, what's the date on that?
August 27th. So it's Saturday.
Oh, August, I'm looking at September, I'm like,
Yep.
that's weird, that's a Tuesday.
No. Yeah, it's just the end of the summer bash. It's the weekend before Labor Day, and
Just looking at-
you know, we wanna get some fun stuff rolling in Hamlin again, so.
Sounds good.
How did your fundraiser go Saturday?
Yeah, if you hadn't heard, Phil Hurlbut and I had discussed, and maybe I talked about it before, there was a local, Vietnam era vet who had not been buried yet. He passed away in October 2021. Unfortunately, his sister is in a nursing home and not capable of being able to handle his funeral. So we organized a fundraising event at the Hamlin VFW yesterday, 1 to 5. We have had a phenomenal turnout. I have been humbled and amazed by how much Hamlin and the surrounding communities have stepped up to help us get this vet taken care of. Unfortunately, I've been waiting a week and a half now for the final bill from Burgers so that we could get that taken care of, but we were able to get his funeral scheduled. It's August 29th at 11 a.m. We'll have the 21 gun salute. I've scheduled the trumpet player, and we will be having somebody pick up his sister from the nursing home and have her there. It's up on Moscow Road, Lakeside, so that she will be able to receive his flag. So Phil and I have worked hard on this, and next Monday it will.
So this is all gonna take place at Lakeside?
Yep. And we're hoping to get as many Hamlin residents as we can. As I said, he has no immediate family except for his sister who is in the nursing home, so.
So the 29th?
Yep, 11 a.m. It'll probably be a tearjerker.
Very good.
Alrighty. Do we have a friends report?
Yes, I do have a friend's report. As soon as I find it. The Friends have been busy, they've been working on projects this summer to enhance the park. Watering and weeding of the flower beds has been going on, as well as a group that monitors the bluebird and purple martin houses, and you've helped with that. Friends members assemble craft kits in their spare time, and then they're available at the History Museum on Saturday mornings, and we just let people who stop in can take the craft kits for their kids. A group of members just last week cleared the weeds and overhanging branches from a nature trail that's in the campground area. It kind of runs from across from the rec hall in the campground and then comes through the woods and terminates at just near the History Museum. A while back, the park staff installed a little library box outside the park office where visitors can pick up or leave a book, and they've recently built a second box, and that will be set up somewhere in the camping area for campers to pick up a book or leave a book. So that's what the Friends have been up to.
Very good. Zoning workshop.
We did not have a zoning workshop, we did planning board member interviews.
Alrighty. Can I have a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
Also move.
I'll second that.
Can I, sorry,
Okay,
before you
it's
take.
been moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? So carried. We'll go right into the Hamlin Waterfront
Steve.
Committee with the
Steve.
same people.
Steve.
We have a comment from Steve. Angel.
We, just to the meeting, and I'm not sure where you wanna add it, we should probably add the farmland protection plan, board that Clark attended. So that we make sure you guys stay apprised of that. Sorry, Steve.
Okay.
So was that the first meeting of the,
Pardon?
was that the first meeting of the,
I think they've had meetings before, haven't they?
Yes, it's the third, but it's the first one that really got rolling.
Okay, Mr. Clark, what happened?
Well, the board is gonna send out 2 questionnaires. One's gonna be for farmers, and that's a long one. And the other one's gonna be for people that own farm property but lease it out to other farmers to farm. And basically, it just asks questions about the farm, for the farmers, about things like the income they might make on it, and the acreage, and things pertaining to the farm itself. And then for the people that lease out, it's gonna be similar things, but more on how much land they're leasing out and things like that. The other thing was that there was some question about how to control where solar farms are put on farmland, to try to keep it from going on the prime property that has the best soil quality. Unfortunately, the soil tests for quality of farms around here haven't been done in about 25 years. So they're looking to have that done again. There also was a concern about where the driveways into these solar farms go, so that they don't split the farmable property up too much.
Okay.
That they have it over to one side. I think that was about all that we covered.
These questionnaires, are these something that like we found that other towns have used, or is this something that we've created ourselves?
No, this is guidance from Bob King, who's really kind of overseen most of these farmland protection plans in the area.
Okay.
And what we did was we took the town of Farmington's, which you can actually find on their website,
Yeah.
and just kind of changed a few things so it fit better in Hamlin. I'm editing that doc actually tomorrow, and we plan on sending it out after Labor Day. It's just good guidance
What's the
for
timeline for return on those?
probably a month. It's just, we're trying to get a good feel, guidelines of what landowners are doing, what they plan on doing, what are farmers doing, what do they plan on doing, what would they like to see done?
Yeah.
What are the challenges?
You know, cause we represent them, you know, so it's important to know where they see, you know, the progression of farmland in Hamlin, so that we can make decisions based on their input.
Yeah, Gene Ballinger owns quite a bit of land. I mean, quite a bit of land. And
Yeah.
and I think when they changed RVL zoning from 5 acres to 2 acres, that actually helped, because when someone wanted to split off a piece of property from a larger piece of property, and in the past they had to have 5 acres, so it took a chunk of the farmland away. And so by making it 2 acres, I think they preserved more farmland, so I think that was a step in the right direction. Should I go back to Hamlin Waterfront Committee? Or we
no,
wanna talk?
we're gonna get to that in a minute. We'll go back and do the adjournment, Cheryl, for next month. Can we add that in?
We do have that, Clark Mahaney and Janine Clark.
Okay. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn the regular conservation board meeting?
No, we just did that.
Okay.
He made the motion. I
Moved and
seconded.
seconded,
Yes,
so carried.
Yep.
All in favor?
yes.
Aye. Opposed? So carried. Okay. Do we have any referrals?
There was one referral, and Cheryl and I went on the inspection. Folks on 5841 West Watoma Beach Road were interested in putting in a generator. But initially it looked like they would need a variance, but to get the required minimum to the distance that the generator needs to be from a house for safety reasons, it looked like it was gonna actually encroach on the neighbor's property. So the homeowners are now maybe looking for an alternate site on the property. So where they wanted to put it, but the site that we inspected wasn't gonna work.
Alrighty. We have anything else for the Hamlin Waterfront Committee? Anything else for discussion? Hearing none,
Well, I was gonna bring up the application for break wall on West Watoma Beach Road.
Everybody should have that.
It was in our mailbox.
Packet, it was in the mail.
Are we still waiting on DEC permits and, was this was from
This is
the,
from the Department of State.
and it said the applications had been sent to the DEC and the Army Corps.
You guys don't have it?
It was in our mailbox.
It wasn't.
I didn't go to my mailbox.
Yeah, that-
neither did
that's
I.
the mail today,
Yes,
yeah.
it's down so you can look at it.
You want me-
Again.
I mean, it looks similar to other projects that have been done along the lake shore, for,
It's not out of character for what's been done in the past
Yeah, but-
previously.
the only thing that was confused me, because there were some photographs, and they said they wanted to put in stones, and it looks like they already have stones.
I think those are previous stones. And I think there's problems, I don't know, with them falling maybe. I think they're just gonna beef it up.
It's gonna be reinforced?
Yeah, reinforced, yes.
Okay, so that was my only question, after having looked at the, at the photographs, I thought it looked like it had already been put in,
Now, some of the stones need to be reset.
yeah. So will that will entail another inspection and LWRP?
Yes, it probably will for LWRP.
Okay,
But then that would be our last inspection, and then the DEC will take over and they will inspect it when it's complete.
but do they need, I mean, are they waiting on the DEC permit?
They're waiting for, they're gonna make their own decision, but they're just waiting for our input. And we have to get it in before the end of the month.
Okay. So that was my only question.
Yeah, I think it'd be important that they, reset the stone and figure out what they need, what they got.
And anything along the lake shore, the DEC inspects.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's similar to other things we've approved, so
Correct.
it doesn't appear to be
It's nothing out of the ordinary. I
anything,
mean,
it doesn't appear to be out of
At
any
least it's not a
area.
dock this time.
Yeah,
Pardon me?
At least it's not a dock this time,
Yeah.
you know?
We don't like docks. No. You better talk to my wife.
Oh, what, does she want one?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I said too.
Just got used to a lot of them, and they put in some large ones lately
Yeah.
with, room for jet skis,
Mhm.
medium-sized boats.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's always up to the Department of State, because the water is non-jurisdictional.
Oh, yeah. So do you need us to vote on this, Cheryl?
I need
Or
you
do
guys
not.
to, I would like it if you would vote on it based on your quick look at it.
It appears to be similar, as I said, similar to other proposals that we've approved in the past.
yeah.
And then the work is gonna be done from barges, is what it said in the, so, it's not gonna disrupt anybody's property.
All right, can I have a motion to approve Brian Donovan's application.
Moved.
And a second.
I'll second it.
Cheryl Lee Paul, please.
Clark Mahaney,
Yes.
Janine Clark,
Yes,
Steve Rutherford,
Yes,
Carrie Whipple,
Yes.
Louis Stephen Senti.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
so carried. Is there anything else for discussion?
No.
Okay, may I have a motion to,
Adjourn.
Hmm?
Motion to move to adjourn.
you move, yeah. that. May I have a motion to adjourn? What do
I'll
you
make a
say?
motion, we adjourn.
I don't think
Second.
you did, right?
Oh, did you?
Whatever.
I'll further.
I got you.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting.
Yeah, and that's probably in the mailbox.
Clark Mahaney,
Yes.
Janine Clark,
Yes.
Steve Rutherford.
Yes.
Carrie Whipple. Yes. Louis Stephen Senti.
Yes.